Hey, what's up, everybody? HTG Brian back live with a 2024 November game break. I almost said October. And I don't know if anybody got this, but on the original post, I actually put up October on the hashtags. I did a little copy and pasting, and unfortunately, it made me look bad for half a second. I don't know if anybody actually caught that or not. But I did get it removed. So, how is everybody? I know that we had a rather short or small audience for the pre-stream chat, but that's okay though. We'll definitely likely see more people show up over the next 5 to 10 minutes as the notifications will probably officially go out, hopefully. But yeah, what's up though? Hopefully everybody had a good turkey day for those who celebrate. We did. Definitely spent some time with my family over at my dad's, and I'll talk more about that later. In fact, I only snapped one photo of the whole thing. In fact, technically, I didn't even take it. It was taken of me. So more on that in a little bit. But welcome. It was another crazy month. View-wise, watch time, and support-wise, you guys crushed it as per usual. Maybe a little bit of a drop-off from the month before, but that is okay. In fact, we're looking at October's rates right here. We crossed the 210,000 milestone, and, we're roughly just over 610,000 views. This month, we gained a couple extra subs. We flipped 211,000, so that's pretty cool. Although I still not sure how I feel about that metric. It's not as important as you would think. I mean, it's great to have. It looks good, but statistically, watch time, views, and that kind of stuff is a little more important. I see some more people sliding in. What's up? But yeah, we had a pretty good month. Like I said, a big time shout out to all of you guys for continuing to support us. August, November are both kind of like lull months for the channel. Some of the slower months, and I've never really figured out why. Now, December, January are always bigger months. And I've kind of got a theory on that. A lot of people are home for the holidays, school is out, things like that. So lots of more opportunity to consume content. And luckily, we are included in some of your choices. So that's pretty awesome. But ultimately, it was a pretty good month. We didn't get out a lot. It's gotten really cold here in Oregon. I mean, we're not to the coldest points yet, but I mean, we're talking most days are highs of about 45, 50 degrees. Last night it got down to 34 degrees, so just about freezing. Not quite there yet, but I mean, it's only November, but we got the cold November rain background going because that's what it's like here in Oregon. Cold November rain. Demonetized. But yeah, so big time thanks to all of you guys for, like I said, your continued support. And I think most of you last month caught that we did hit our 100 millionth view. We're a little bit further than that now. We're almost to, in fact, we are just about 101 million, which is crazy. Like, when we started this channel many moons ago, I mean, we had no idea what was going to happen. We had a plan, and then due to some unexpected interruptions and a YouTube strike, we had to change that plan pretty significantly. And beyond that, we've always felt like we've sort of been, I mean, I don't know what the best word to put it is, but I feel like we've been sort of isolated. I feel like the filter that YouTube used to have for us has gotten much smaller. And I feel like we don't have as broad of an audience as we used to. But over the years, we've grown even more, and yet it still feels like we're being sort of siphoned down. And to think that we actually had that hurdle and still probably do, and we hit 100 million views. That's insane. And, I get comments all the time like, thank you so much. It's crazy that you're still helping people 12 years later. You know what I mean? And like, I had a comment this morning that said that somebody was watching a Lego Harry Potter or something. And I mean, that's wild to me that, things that I said and did 12 years ago are still helping people. Like, that's mind boggling. I mean, I still think back to, and I bring this up more often than I should, but takes me back to the old days of my childhood bedroom when I was getting screamed at by my father, telling me to go outside and touch grass because I play too many video games. You'll never do anything in life with playing video games. And yet I did do something. And I mean, even if I stopped tomorrow, I'm still super proud of what we have created, because this isn't just a me thing. This is a we thing. Yes, I produce the content, a lot of it anyways, but I've got help, you know, without my mods, without my guide writers, without the support of the channel, the desire to listen to my flap and yapper. I mean, that's pretty awesome, you guys. And I always remind you that this opening segment isn't about the channel and like, ooh, look at me. It is literally a thank you for letting me continue to do what I love to do, because I love hanging with you guys. I don't get out very much these days, so having an interaction and friends online is exactly what I needed. So big time thanks to all of you guys for your little or big support, whether it's new or old. I greatly appreciate it. Now, I've got a list here, and I'm going to try to go through it. I don't have a visual for here or for this next thing, but I do want to talk about it because, listen, I went through. Oh my gosh, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a pretty big deal, and I have officially got an Epic Game Store creator code now. So some of you have no idea what that is. That's okay. I'm not going to go into huge detail because I've never used it myself. That's why I don't have any visuals, because I'm not even exactly sure. I tried to look on the Epic Store and tried to buy some V-Bucks and some stuff, and I couldn't find anything that actually used this. So I'm assuming it's through the game console versus the online store. But anyways, basically, for those who play Fortnite and other games that are on the Epic Game Store, when you make purchases, you don't have to pay any more or do anything crazy, but there's a box that says creator code, and you can actually enter Happy Thumbs into it now, because Happy Thumbs is our Epic creator code. So I probably should have put creator code Epic, you know, games, Happy Thumbs, but you guys are smart enough, you know, Happy Thumbs. It's not like it's, you know, some sort of a puzzle. It's not like we're Tiddlywinks. Our creator code is, you remember Tiddly? It's Happy Thumbs. So what that ends up doing is like a small fraction of the purchase doesn't go to Epic, it goes to us. So it's one of those things where if you're already supporting another creator, that's great, cool, totally support them. If you're not though, and you're somebody who does spend money there, this isn't a like, hey, go spend money on Epic and put our code. This is like if you already are doing it and you don't have a name to put in that spot, put in Happy Thumbs. And I have no idea. I think it's like 1 penny per purchase or something like that goes to Happy Thumbs. So, I mean, I may not hit the threshold for payout for 10 more years, but I mean, it's just something that, you know, I wanted to share and let you guys know. Because I've been asked over the years, like, especially when we play Fortnite, like, do you have a creator code? And I'm always like, no, I should, but I don't. And I finally did it. But here's the story on that. I set it up and went through the whole rigmarole, hit submit, and it said, you know, usually takes a couple hours to process this, depending on where you are, what you said, blah, blah, blah. It might take up to 48 hours. Well, like 3-4 days goes by and I haven't heard anything. And so like on that email, it says, if you have any questions, email this. Well, I'm like reading this. And so I like respond. I'm like, hey, I haven't heard anything. I'm just checking in to see blah, 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 blah. And there was a problem. When you set it up, you have to input your tax info. What up? What up, Lady Madonna? Tomorrow in the house. The tax info I submitted was for Happy Thumbs because it's my business. Now, I have a specific type of LLC, and they did not have an option for that type of LLC. So when we filled out the thing, we figured that there was going to be some sort of conflict. And that's what I emailed them about. I was like, hey, I wasn't sure what to put and blah, blah, blah. And so like another week went by and I got an email saying, you have not completed this. Please complete and retake the tax interview. Well, I go back to the page. And I'm like, all right. So I'm going through all the menu, like the navigate, and there's no retake tax. There's no spot that says tax anything. It's like it's been submitted. And so then I started thinking, well, during that process of setting this up, when determining what type of LLC I had, I actually went to my Oregon State legal login for my LLC itself, because I have to pay dues and I have to go through some steps every year. And when I did that, I found out that my LLC had actually been terminated because for some reason in August, I didn't pay it. I didn't even know it was due. I thought it was due in April, and my wife and I, when we were looking at this, we were like, we paid this in April. And we went and looked. We did the year before. And for some reason, it switched from April to August. So when August rolled around, we had no idea we were in violation or being late. So we paid the fee, and we got it all reinstated. And so that's where we were at this point. It had been reinstated. It had been a couple of days. So I thought, oh, maybe that the tax stuff finally caught up, because I think originally they were pinging it and it was showing that, no, this doesn't exist or it's not active, but we paid the stuff and we got it active again. So I was thinking, okay, maybe that's why it's not showing up. So another week goes by and I get an email saying you got like 5 more days to fill this out. Otherwise, we're going to kick this out. And I'm like, so I email them again. Hey, what's going on? I'm trying to figure this out. Nobody's responding to me. And they responded and they finally said, hey, you need to retake the tax interview. Here's how to do it. You've got 5 days before it resets. All that means is you just have to start over, which is basically where I was at already, because I had to start all over and take the tax interview. So I retook the tax interview. This time, instead of using the Happy Thumbs info, I just used my personal stuff. And it went through, bam, just like that. So after like 3 or 4 weeks of turmoil, emails back and forth, harassing my wife because she does our taxes and she's the brains of this operation. It's certainly not me. So I had to have her sit in multiple times and help out. And we finally got it done. So not a big deal again. But if you guys are over at Epic and you're on Fortnite playing a game and you just got to have that new skin or whatever, you need some V-Bucks to buy a new emote or whatever. They don't have this emote, by the way. Not yet, anyways. The dancing chair. It's like the dancing bear, but the lazier version. All right, it's freezing 29 degrees. Holy cow, that's cold. Yeah, I've seen that there's definitely some frosty bits, especially in the Northeast. I saw that somewhere outside of Buffalo, New York, there's like an interstate, and there was a major like ice storm that flew through, and it just destroyed the roads in the sense of not being drivable. And I guess there's like a 60 or 70 mile stretch. That sounds like a lot, but there's that huge stretch where people are stranded and they can't go anywhere. That's what the report was on Twitter this morning. I don't live in Buffalo. I'm not a news reporter, but I've heard that the weather is not very nice right now. So all right, so Epic Store stuff's done. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. And Chacho, go spend some money. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I'm getting some messages, making sure it's nothing of importance. Okay, so all right, I'm getting some info. It looks like my team of peeps is going to be unavail for a while, so we might not have a Tuesday stream for a little bit. Kirsten, you might have dodged a bullet of missing out on a game. I don't even know if you're still out there. I assume you are. All right, so next up, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Basically, I've got just some small updates that are happening right now. As you guys know, Lego Horizon Adventures came out recently. Some of you have played it. Some of you have watched some of our videos. Some of you have watched Kirsten's streams. Ultimately, there's not a lot of help we can offer in this game. And it's not because we don't want to. It's because not much is needed. There is a little bit of stuff that would be helpful to know, or definitely is going to solve some puzzles for you, because there are a couple of things that just not necessarily don't make sense, but aren't necessarily explained fully in the game. But we've got some tips and tricks and a bunch of videos that are up now and more to come. And we'll be finishing that series up, or at least I will be. Doug finished up the guide a couple of days ago. And, I just wanted to give you guys a little sample. This is actually a snippet from our most recent video that just went up yesterday. So you can see there was a cauldron at the beginning. There's a little bit of parkouring and jumping through some platforming. There's one of the traveling merchant encounters that gives you some weapons or some gadgets to choose from. And then this is one of the other biomes that you get to play in, which is the desert. And you can see there's builds and stuff, but it's there's not a lot of stuff to it. And I'm sure Kirsten would agree. In a way, it's play it and platinum it. I am almost done with the story. You can see I'm fighting a big shell walker right here. I'm almost done with the story. According to my progress bar, I have 4 levels left. 3 of them are part of the 4th act. or fourth act. And it's out in the desert, and then I have one big boss battle, and then I'm done with the story. But I'm not done with progression. I still have to grind out and replay a bunch of levels with 3 other characters because there are 4 playable characters. I know it's kind of a bummer, only 4, but those characters sort of come with some experience, but need to be level maxed out in order to get one of the trophies. And if you're trying to get platinum, which I'm sure people on PlayStation are, you're going to want to do that. So we've got some tips and tricks. I am likely, this is the first time I have announced this. I don't think even Kirsten has heard this. My plan right now, as I'm going to have a meeting with Doug, probably tomorrow, Monday, and that meeting is going to consist of a lot of stuff, mainly Funko Fusion. But one of the things I'm going to talk to him about is how long does it take to get through the Apex Machine hunting grounds? If the answer is, 3 to 5 hours, I'm going to stream it. If it is less than that, I'm probably still going to stream it. If it's more than that, I'm going to try to figure out the best way to document the series. So, we'll see. There may be some streams. Now, because it is Lego, it will be on the main channel, HTG, as opposed to where we do a lot of our streaming right now on HTG TV, our second YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. In fact, I'll drop a link really quick. And then, if you guys have not already, we'd love to see you over there. That'll take you right to the community page and show you, not much, but stuffs. So that is still a work in progress. I am expecting to finish up the videos on that. Now, keep in mind, I've been doubling down. I've been not only doing stuff around here, but I've also been working on Funko Fusion. So, and Funko Fusion is way more of a time consumer than Lego Horizons has been, just because there's so much of actual collection and route choice. And then there's the story bits too that you have to do. Unfortunately, like a lot of Lego games, you can sort of bypass a lot of the story-based bits in free play because you can fly by this, checkpoint or this puzzle or whatever, right? And that's not necessarily the case in Fusion. Fusion sort of requires you to play it all the way through, which is not a bad thing either. Like I'm finding that when I played the story, a lot of these levels took me 20, 25 minutes to get through. And I was like, oh my God, collecting all of the collectibles and doing these levels, they're going to be like 45-minute to an hour video, every one of them. And there's 42. And I was like, oh my God, there's going to be like 42 hours of fun play. Like, oh my gosh. That's not how it's working out at all. In fact, I'm able to sort of link and sync things along, and some of these videos are actually even faster than the story because they've changed a little bit of how the quality of things are and whatever. But on that whole note too, let's jump into some Funko gameplay here. This is a little clip from our most recent. If you haven't checked this game out, it's on sale right now for Black Friday. Now, whether it meets your needs or your price range yet, I don't know, but it's definitely worth looking into. If you guys have been missing out and complaining about it, like I swear, if any one of you have said one thing about, I want a new Lego game, and you haven't given this game a chance, I don't even want to hear it anymore. This game has been developed and created by 1010 Games, which is largely compiled of veterans that made our games, the Lego games, that is. So, I mean, most of the last 10 years have had influence of the people that made this game. So I even had somebody ask me yesterday, finally, on the YouTube page, hey, is this game like Lego? It seems like it's like a Lego spinoff or something. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, it's made by the people who made our Lego game. So naturally, it sort of feels like a Lego game, although it's just in the Funko world. I'm getting some buffering on my screen here. I don't know if that's everybody or what, but ultimately, I just wanted to let everybody know that we are continuing to still work on this. It is a much bigger game than, Lego Horizons or things we've worked on recently. So as I mentioned, there are 42 levels. Technically, there are 35 story levels, and then there are 7 cameo levels. So when you add those together for the fun play, it ends up being 42 total levels of collectibles. That does not include the cameo character quests, which will be doing those as well. Right now, we have 17 fun play videos done of the 42. So we're almost to the halfway point, but we're not there yet. I definitely will continue to work on this. It'll probably be right around the new year when I finish. At least I hope. It may drag on a little bit longer because of the holidays. Right now, I know that Doug's got a lot of stuff going on, and although the guide it's complete in a way, it's not complete too. And what I mean by that is he's gone through and labeled all of the collectibles pretty much for every level, if not all by now. But the problem is that he got a lot of them in story and wrote them down, and then came back in fun play and wrote them down. And so they're not in an order that makes it easy for me or that would make sense to you guys. So the written version is being revised. I am using those revisions to get the videos done. Once the videos are done, then they will likely be turned over to the website so that we'll have the written versions and the actual video versions of it. And all of that being said, it takes a long time. And like I said, with Doug having a lot of personal stuff going on right now, and it's not bad stuff, it's just good, busy stuff. And yeah, so hopefully he'll get that done. Now the plan is, and I've talked about this a little bit as we go through a portal here. I wanted to give you a little portal play. I guess maybe I'm behind. I'm looking at the actual screen here. But anyways, that being said, we do have plans to... Okay, so if nothing else gets announced between now and January, and what I mean by that is no Lego games, no new Funko stuff. Hey, get out of here. We're gonna do Lego Indy 2. So Doug has the need to he just finished up Lego Horizon. That one is done. It's on our website. Go check it out if you want to see, if you haven't played it yet. HappyThumbsGaming.com should be the main thing on the page right now. If it's later and you're watching this, you hit the browse button and go to Trophy Achievement Guides, and you'll find it towards the top. Or you can use the search box and search out Lego Horizons. That'll find it too. But ultimately, that's done. Funko's almost done. Like I said, he just needs to rearrange all the collectibles and get them in the order that makes sense for me. And then once I confirm it, he'll put that on the website. Ultimately, though, that'll happen whenever. And then he's going to transition into Lego Indy 2. And yes, there are lots of guides, information, and stuff out there already, but it's not the same as Doug's. So, and besides, I ask a lot of questions. That's part of the reasons why I pay. Hey, Justin's out there. What up, dude? It's part of the reason why I pay the guide writers, is because they have to put up with a lot of Brian stuff. So anyways, ultimately, I'm excited. It's so long overdue for Lego Indy 2. I know I've been saying it, but right now there's nothing else coming out. We knew Funko was coming out. We knew Lego Horizons was a thing. We knew TT Games was working on something. We didn't know if Horizons was it, or we didn't know, right? So I was so uncertain, but knew these things were coming, but I didn't want to jump into a project that I wouldn't be able to finish. Oh, the irony. More on that later. John Bondi's out there. What up, dude? Denise, what up? Let's see here. Who else? Yes. I think John was like, Lego Rock Band, come on, Lego Rock Band. Oh, that's funny. This game that not allowed to mention has a chance for a guide video. No, it does not. Good to see you guys, though. All right. Thanksgiving. Wonderful day. Previous years, my uncle had hosted. Last 2 years, my uncle's hosted. Actually, last 3 years, my uncle's hosted. Before that, we had it at my grandparents' house. Even when my grandparents had moved into their retirement home, the house was still there. We actually had multiple family events there before they sold the house. So it was kind of a new thing to have it at my uncle's. My uncle was tired of having it. And one of the main reasons we had it there was because my grandparents were in the home and it was closest house to the home. So least amount of travel for my grandparents. Now that my grandparents are both not here, my dad offered to host. So for the first time, I was actually complaining about this on the way home. For the first time in basically my whole life, my family get together was not within like a 20-minute drive of me. Because like my grandparents lived about 10, 15 minutes out from me. My uncle lives about 15, 20 minutes out from me. My other grandma lived about 5 minutes from me. So all of the family gatherings happened at one of those three places every year for like 40 something years. So this year, my dad, it was great. My dad has a nice house, and you know, it was fun. He's got a bunch of keyboards stacked up, and so I've got some cousins that are real little that loved, you know, banging on the keys and having a little concert for everybody, and it was real fun. Now, one thing I realized when it was all over and done with, I didn't even take one photo. And not that my family necessarily wants to be documented and all over the place, but there was one photo that was taken, and it was of me and baby Luke. Oh my God, he is the cutest, most ham doggiest dude ever. And he's just like the happiest baby. Like he really is. Um, it's always such an amazing visit when baby Luke is there. So, you know, he's my first nephew. My brother finally made me an uncle. And I absolutely love his wife too. They haven't gotten married yet. And it was funny. So just a little backstory here. Many, many years ago, Jillian and I got married. When we got married, it was made pretty clear to us that there wasn't a lot of money to support the concept of our marriage and that we were going to have to cover the bill. Traditionally, you know, the wife's father usually covers, right? The wife's parents. I mean, that's kind of traditionally. We were far from tradition. We had Reese long before we got married. Reese was what, 2.5, 3, something like that when we got married. And I think he was 3.5 actually. So anyways, non-traditional. And so money was tight. We started looking at churches and stuff. And as you guys know, we're not religious. So we don't have like a place that we would go or, you know, so it was just kind of more of like scenic, like what feels the best, you know, and we weren't really feeling a church. And so we looked at some other places, a couple vineyards, and we were looking at the prices going, yeah, we're not getting married. And it was like, do we want to just go down to the courthouse? And it was like, no, we want to have a ceremony, you know? So in the end, my dad works at a country club, but it's an older country club, and it's, you know, not the highest of end of places, but it's also not a trash heap either. And so they have banquets and food and capabilities of catering and all these things. And so my dad was like, why don't you just come do it here, and then you can spend your money on the other things, like, you know, whatever else you need and want to do. And so we did it there. And, you know, fast forward many years later, also, my youngest brother, Alex, was one of my groomsmen. My middle brother, Tyler, was actually over back east playing college football for Illinois. But anyways, he wasn't available, but my youngest brother was. Fast forward, now my youngest brother is one of the managers at that golf course and works there 7 days a week and absolutely hates it. And so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, so, you know, hey, what are you and girly? Because he said something about, oh, my girlfriend. I said, yeah, what about that? We got. I feel like you've had your son. You guys are together. You love, like, I feel like it's time to like put that ring on him. And he was like, yeah, you know, we've been talking about it. And I go, you gonna get married at Merriweather? And he goes, no. And then he looked at me and he goes, oh my God, I didn't mean it like that. And I go, bro, no offense taken. But it was hilarious. Like, we had a nice laugh about that. He's like, no, like, people don't realize that people get married there. And I mean, it can be really nice. But like, you know, as far as the golf side of it, it's kind of like referred to as like a cow pasture sometimes. And I was like, I mean, I know the golf course isn't at its highest point there, but that's on you, sir. You're the one that controls all of this. So we had a nice laugh about that. But what's up, Babu? Welcome to the stream. All right, so I don't know if anybody ever even reads the description. I always put stuff in the video description. If it's a collectible video, there's always quick links and links to our socials and websites and all the things, right? I have no idea if anybody ever reads them, but this month I actually mentioned it was a month filled with doom. And it really was. Like, historically, there are not a lot of opportunities to get your hands on collectibles, items, merchandise of any sorts related to my favorite artist and MC, MF Doom. Ah, so you're already like, wait a minute, that's not the Doom I was thinking. But check this out. This is actually kind of crazy. There's, a couple pieces of art that float around by a pretty prestigious artist. There's a couple of collectibles that have been made. We're talking over the last 20 or 30 years. There are probably, 10, 15 type of collectible things, or just merchandise, right? Outside of the actual touring merch that they had for certain albums. Now, unfortunately, MF Doom has passed away, so you'd expect even less. But check this out. This is actually kind of wild. This month was actually the 20th anniversary of one of his best and well-known albums, which was called Food. It's all about food. It's wild, probably not for most of you, but it's one of my favorite albums. And they had a bunch of pre-order this and pre-order that. And that was back forever ago. But this is the month that it actually was the 20th anniversary of. And so this is when it all released. Well, there was a whole bunch of other weird milestones that happened this month too. And I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I want to show you a couple things. The movie Gladiator is actually what inspired the mask that the villain MF Doom wears. And he actually made a mask out of metal and chrome stuff, and he didn't like it. And then this is the word on the street. He hired the guy that made the Gladiator mask to make his MF Doom mask. Pretty epic, right? Well, fast forward forever, and all of a sudden Gladiator 2 gets a sequel? Gladiator gets a sequel? What? And this is what gets crazy. They made popcorn buckets and cop tuppers and even keychains in the Gladiator mask, which is ultimately the MF Doom mask. Now, I took this picture next to a piece of artwork that Reese got me, and I've showed that to you guys before in the past. It was also one of the more convenient places. It also had a green backdrop. So green is kind of a synonymous color with a lot of Doom stuff, just because the villain often wore a green trench coat or, something like that. So pretty excited. Now, I want to share this with you guys. Check this out. Oh, my camera has shifted a little bit, so you're going to have to look at some clutter over here. Don't look over here. Don't look over here. This is my notes and stuff. You're not supposed to see that. But so there's a cup topper, right? It's a big cup, plastic cup. But I mean, look at this. I guess I got to hold it the right way. I mean, that's pretty cool. It is more of a Gladiator mask than it is an MF Doom mask, because the Doom mask doesn't have like all of this hoopla back here. In fact, the mask stops right here for Doom, which surprisingly, I don't have one of those. Like, the wife and child have talked about getting me one many times, but they have not. There's also this glorious keychain that looks just like the Doom mask. Let's see if I can get it a little closer there. But my camera's running about 7 frames a second. That is killer. So Reese actually went and rounded these up for me at the middle of the month, which I thought was really cool, but that's not it. Look at this. I mean, it's actually metal too. Like, okay, it's not metal. I lied. But I mean, that is the Doom mask, basically, the front side and everything. God, if I could get it on there. There we go. Like, wild. So I've thought about putting it right here, letting it chill. But on those, whoa. But on those moments that I'm like, I don't want to get spiked. But I mean, it does look pretty cool on the chair, huh? And then it's got the popcorn bucket too, that I will never have popcorn in. But so that was kind of wild. So that happened. But on another note, the 20th anniversary stuff, couple of things. First off, I was lucky enough to get one of 300 posters made. You can see down in the left corner, it has 1 of 300. That's not mine. I didn't get number 1. This is just the demo picture they had on the website when pre-ordering. I actually have mine in a tube. I have not opened it yet. But I got really upset because I opened it up the other day a little bit, right? And I just looked inside. I don't have that camera on anymore. I looked inside and you can see the posters in there. There's a little bit of writing, like the signature of the artist is on there, but it doesn't have the number. And I was like, wait a minute. So I had to pull up the whole thing again. I realized, okay, the signature's on the one side, and I don't have, I pulled it out. I don't have any gloves or anything. I don't want to touch this until I get it framed. And I'm going to have a nice frame, just like we did with the other artwork here. You can see in the background, we had that matted and all that. We'll be doing something similar with that. We also, Reese got me another one of those back in like April or May when he went to the Portland Rose City Comic-Con. So I have 2 pieces of artwork from that same artist that did that middle piece there. And then now I've got this. And it's actually kind of funny because although it's not perfect, on the display on the wall, I'm going to have the food, the one that I just showed you, this one, long, right? And then I'll have the 2 other artworks going down. And in a way, it's kind of like the mask, right? Because the mask has the 2, like that's kind of wild and coincidental. But on top of that, check this out. There's actually a cereal box that comes with a 7-inch minifigure. And no, 1 of 300 raised. 1 of 300. 300. So yeah, I was literally refresh at 8:59 when it went live at 9 a.m. the morning. And that was the first thing I went for was the poster because I knew they were limited. So yeah, I mean, who knows if they really only did 300. Reese made a good point. They probably printed way more, but they only sold signed 300, right? So there's only 300 that were signed. So either way, still pretty cool. And there's new artwork. All of the vinyl and all of the reprints and everything all have this artwork. So when you fold it open, that's what you see. Pretty cool stuff. But then there's a cereal box here, which I actually have here to show you. Let's turn my other camera back on here. So it's legit a cereal box. And the figures inside, it's got a lot of references to, the song names and things. Very cool box from Super 7 minifigures. So super7.com is who actually made this, which is who some of my other Doom minifigs are through as well. Now, you can also see that I got a sticker pack. The sticker pack sold out almost instantly as well. And there's, I don't know how many stickers are in here, like 10 or 15. I haven't actually even opened it. And it's funny, I'm a sticker collector, but I don't ever stick stickers anywhere. In fact, my wife got me, I wonder if I can pull this out real quick. My wife got me a sticker pack. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I feel it. Here it is. The last time around, 2, maybe 3 years ago, my wife got me the shirt that I'm wearing now and another shirt. That was the first time they had done any new merch in probably 10 years, maybe 7, 8, 10 years. And my wife got me the stickers, which I opened up the packaging, but I've never used any of the stickers. Now, Reese also got me a couple of extra stickers too, over the years. So those have been added in there, but, so those will get tucked away in my sticker collection. And, what was really cool is that they also had a pop-up. And this pop-up was, if I would have known about it, you would have seen me there, but I didn't know about it till it was too late. But they did a Doom Diner. And I knew they did the Doom Diner shirt because I got the hoodie, as you can see here. But the Doom Diner was a pop-up at this place in California. And they actually had a concert with Doom, a full orchestra with Mad Lib, and so they had a lot of MF Doom vocals that they played with the orchestra, but they also had some other artists that contributed to other albums. Oh my God, I was so upset that I missed it. And they have some live footage of it, but it's like clips, not the whole event. So I'm hoping that they'll showcase that at some point and have it for sale, because I would buy that. You know me, and pretty much anything Doom I get my hands on. But I thought this was really cool. So then what's even funnier is that I had ordered all this stuff, as I mentioned, quite a few months ago, back in June, I think is when it was, maybe even May. And so right before this announcement, another release happened. And so MF Doom has been around forever, but he's always been on other labels. And now he started his own label. Sadly, it was in the works of being created when he died. He already had the first artist lined up to be signed and release an album, and the album was mostly packaged and done when Doom died. It actually just came out about a month ago. It's Curious is the name of the artist, and the album name is The Magician. It's pretty good. It sounds very much like Doom. It's very much produced by Doom. You can feel him in the energy of the songs. Anyways, so my wife ordered me, when they launched Metal Face Records, she ordered me a hoodie, and it came from the MF Doom warehouse. And so when the package came, she's like, oh, one of your Doom packages showed up. And I was like, that stuff's not supposed to release till November. That's weird. I'm getting stuff early. But it turns out she got me a Metal Face. This was supposed to be a Christmas present. But so again, you can see the mask, the influence of the Gladiator and everything. But so, I mean, so this month I got 2 new Doom hoodies. I got the new Doom figure inside a cereal box. It's super collectible. I got the poster, 1 of 300. I got some new stickers. And that's like what would seem like the best month of Doom stuff ever. But wait, there's more. So about 6 or 8 months ago, it was announced that there was a biography that would be coming out. And for some odd reason, it also launched this month. So when I say there was a month full of Doom, it really was a month full of Doom. Now, I have not read this yet. I just got this about 3 or 4 or 5 days ago. But this is supposed to be a really good read. It talks a lot about his family, his upbringing, talks a lot about the tours that he went on. And then it also talks about when he got sick and some of that. So reportedly, he had a heart issue. He went to a hospital. The hospital mistreated or misdiagnosed. And as a result of that mistake, he died on the spot. So apparently there's easy treatment for this, and he should have been in and out in a half an hour to an hour, but that didn't happen. And so now there's a big lawsuit going on. Now, there's also a bunch of people that claim that this is all something a villain would do, and that he's probably still alive orchestrating all of these releases and all this stuff. Now, in the spirit of the villain, I hope that's true. At the same time, I'd be pretty pissed if I found out that I'd been lied to after all these years. So, pretty cool month. I mean, a month full of Doom and no gloom, just Doom. So, pretty sweet stuff. All right, let's see here. Moving forward, I want to talk about stream schedule. So before I show you this graphic, I just want to say a couple of things. Yes, I'm aware of the labelings. I'll explain that in a second. And I do have something that is not going to match up with this. So ultimately, Monday on this graphic is going to show you the next game. But I do have a game I'm going to finish up this Monday. So I will be streaming on Monday over on HTG TV. I'm going to be finishing up the Shrek Power Wash Sim DLC. As it turns out, I have 1 big level left. It'll likely be a 2 to 2.5 hour stream. Could be longer, could be shorter, but I'm going to get that out of the way and done so I can 100% my Power Wash Sim. And plus, it'd be nice to hang out with you guys for a little bit. So I will be streaming tomorrow as well. It is Lego Batman 3. And although that is what won the vote, it's surprisingly low views and low interest for such an older, fun game. But that being said, so Monday is going to look different. Okay. That's right. We got Crazy Goose Simulator popping into the stream, not Monday, but the following Monday. Tuesday seems like it's going to be put on hiatus for the last 4 weeks. I have been trying to come up with a game that suited all of our desires and needs. That includes you guys and the people who play with me. And unfortunately, I was not able to round up or land on a game that everybody liked. Then I started specifically asking if anybody's going to be gone for holidays and such. And it sounds like a couple of our players are going to be in and out. So just to make things safe for now, we'll probably figure out a game in the next couple of days, weeks, and then let you guys know. And then I would guess probably the first of the year, I'll return to streaming like cooperative stuff with the team on Tuesdays. Wednesday is kind of a surprise, I bet, because I've been bad-mouthing this, and I'm still going to bad-mouth it until I find otherwise. Seen a bunch of footage of this game. The cinematics look some of the best stuff we've seen. It's a Bethesda-based game. Indiana Jones is a huge, fun, loving property that we all would love to return to. But the combat that I've seen is terrible. Like PS2 animations and stuff. So I'm hoping that was old footage or maybe not what it's supposed to be, but we'll find out. If I'm being completely honest, I already have the game. I downloaded it yesterday as Bethesda has sponsored us yet again, and I have actually been given early access. However, other than telling you about the game and that I have it, I can't speak anymore until next Friday. So that's the kicker. I won't be streaming this on Wednesday this week or Wednesday next week, but I will be streaming it next Friday. I know that's super confusing because that's not what the graphic says, but due to embargo, which means I have an agreement with the developers that I cannot stream it until that Friday. But it will be my Wednesday game moving forward. So that's where that makes sense, hopefully. But you might have also noticed, wait a minute, it says Happy Thumbs Gaming. As part of my agreement with Bethesda, they wanted me to play it on my larger channel, and it makes sense to do so. So I will be streaming Wednesdays, not this week. Let me get you an actual date. So it won't be the 4th. It'll start the 11th. So I will be picking that up for the first time on Friday, December 6th. And then it will move into the Wednesday spot. And, you know, technically I could stream it on Thursday the 5th because that it's like, I don't know, 6 p.m. or something like that. The embargo lifts my times. I think it's 6 p.m. So I could stream it on Thursday, but I just figured it'd make more sense. As of late, we haven't been playing any Apex or Fortnite, largely due to people not being available, but also just due to lack of interest. So combo of all that made sense to just play it as early as possible, but also not outside the normal stream schedule. So, hey, what up, Farmer? I see you sliding in there. And then, you know, moving forward, we hope to get some Apex and Fortnite in. Now, I spoke to the Tood Man yesterday for the first time in a couple of weeks, actually. You know, his family's had a lot of stuff going on. His daughter has been elected class president. His son's been playing in football, which they went undefeated in their season for the 2nd year in a row. And he's a pretty big part of the sideline rooting fan and also helps cart a lot of the kids to and from the practices and games. So his schedule has been unbelievably busy. And he actually messaged me on Thanksgiving and just wanted to share some love. And he said, you know, ultimately, hey, bro, I know I keep saying this, but I'm dying to get back and I'll be back soon. In fact, let me read his text. Let me see exactly what he said. Says, I've been a bad channel helper, but I swear my time is coming back. I have not forgot. And I told him, no worries, homie. In fact, we have not been streaming ourselves. So no big deal there. But I hope to get back into that. And I would love it if, you know, Apex became more of a staple on Fridays. Now, the game itself has changed quite a bit. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I love it as much as I once did, but I haven't played it lately. So I feel like I need to give it some run. But yeah, so, and then Sundays will continue to be Lego Batman 3 until we finish that up. As you guys know, I started free play last week, so we'll be collecting kits and things, and, you know, it won't be long before we're having another vote. My guess is right around the 1st of the year, we'll be voting again, and we'll see what you guys choose. As long as it's only 4 choices still with the YouTube polls, It'll be Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Movie, Lego Jurassic, and Lego Hobbit, I think. So my guess is it'll probably be Jurassic. And I feel bad for the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Kinda. Kinda. So what do you guys think? Pretty sweet schedule. Crazy Goose Simulator looks awesome. It looks as wild and goofy as like a goat simulator. And speaking of which, they did remaster that. So I was kind of hoping that it might go on sale soon. So I haven't looked to see if the PlayStation Store has any deals on that particular title. But if it does, I'll be picking that up because I'd love to play that again. We really want Indiana Jones 2 Lego. Clearly you weren't here earlier. Otherwise you wouldn't say stuff like that. All right, Farmer, back to work. Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's see here. It wouldn't be a game break if I didn't at least subliminally give you some of this. What? What's happening? The goal is ultimately to have that car by my birthday, which is January 20th. Oh my God. Have I told you guys the story yet? Did I tell you the story about calling the dealership? I can't remember if I told you guys that or not. Have you guys heard my dealership horror story? So yeah, I don't. I've seen the Lego James Bond stuff. I don't find that to be anything official. It might have been. We know that Lego had plans to add James Bond into Dimensions. That was supposed to be one of the next big things before it got canceled. But looking at that footage, it looks like that was maybe a concept at one point, or somebody that was learning to animate Lego did. It does not look like something official. I keep saying official leak trailer. No, hey, Bond would have been interesting. It doesn't make any sense though, because they're showing clips from like early Bond, but also using Daniel Craig's voice. So like, I don't think that was real. I think that that's somebody's home creation or something. And, that's what I think. So, and you guys have heard the story. Okay. So I was gonna tell that story, but I was started thinking about like I feel like I told you guys already. Anyways, ultimately, long story short, I've been working with the Volkswagen dealership for like 10 months, 11 months. Been on a list for about a year now, and my needs changed. So the wait actually is not anybody's fault. It's just my choice. They have the car that I wanted forever, like this car, right? Well, not that one. This one right here. They actually have this car right now. But I don't want that car. At least I don't think I do. They're doing a revision of it, and so I've been waiting. And I tried to call the dealership, and unfortunately, somebody had hacked the Google page results, and I called a scam artist. And they tried to scam me, and they took me on a wild ride. It was like a 2-hour tour, and by the time it was over, I was relieved it was all fake. But I was pretty frustrated for a minute. Sir, if you just shut up and hold on. Like I was like, what? How dare you speak to me like that? All right, before we get into a Patreon, let's go ahead and shout out 5 new memberships. We got Sue, we got Stig Ronnie, we got Chris Lamontagne, and Glenn 2K12. All right, well, welcome. In fact, while we're at it, why don't I go ahead? It's been a while since I've done this. It's not as impressive as most of yours, but coming up on 2 years of gifting memberships. Pretty cool, huh? Some nice little flex out there. All right, Patreon stuffs. Just as you guys know, we have patreon.com/HappyThumbsGaming. It's a place where you can go and support us directly. YouTube takes a cut. Everybody takes it. Patreon takes a cut too, but much less That being said, we've got some $5 and up supporters that get a textual shout out, which somebody comes in. Hey, there he is. Perfect timing, dude. Those are all $5 and up supporters. Most of them have been there for many, many months, if not years, and we greatly appreciate the support. You know, it's lesser than it used to be. Still worth doing the game breaks and the support that, you know, it helps enough, is what I'm getting at. So big time thanks to all of those peeps. Now, we also have some $10 and up supporters. And I do say up because although the tier only goes to a suggested $10 and up, people have been very generous. And I mean, we've had $200 a month. We've had $50 a month. We've had definitely lots of different people showing up to help and support. And we couldn't thank you guys enough. Nice. We got Raised out there flexing, Bondi out there flexing too. Woo to the hoo-hoo-hoo. So, you know, I was thinking the other day, you guys have seen those. I think they're TikTok streamers. I wouldn't know. I don't have a TikTok account. I'm not trying to be cool. I'm just saying I don't have one, so I don't know for sure. But there's like the, what do they call them? I think they call them NPCs. The NPC streamers where they're like, they basically have emotes that they do. There's like the NPC Spider-Man, right? And there's different ones. There's different, and like, depending on what you donate or how you donate, like the response from the person is different. But basically it's like you pay money for a response or reaction from the player. I thought about doing one of those, but mine would have to be like, you know, like, or how what they would be if I were to do something like that. So I have no idea if that would even, I feel like I'd be very quiet in like a animated, like, I don't know how many donations I would really get, right? Like, those are weird scenarios. I've always thought they were like interesting, but like just how they sit there and they like move around like they're an NPC, like, you know. Anyways, $10 and up Patreon supporters. You know him as our guide writer, but he goes by Dougie Fresh. What up, Dougie? Thanks for your support, man. Much love, much love. We also got, he's out there in the chat. He just flexed a 10-month membership of support. He goes by John Bondi. Thanks for the support, dude. Much love, much love. We also got Michael Karsberg. I thought about this. I feel like I should tell you the secret word is Funko again, just because I know you'll be like, you already said that toy. I have some like go-tos that I go to, but you know, I don't know what how about Doom? We've probably used Doom before, but we had such a big Doom theme for this game break. Let's go with Doom. All caps when you say the man's name. Thank you for your support, Michael. Much love, much love. Next up, we got April White. Thank you so much, April, for your support. I was hoping that we'd run into you today, but I know it's an odd time and it wasn't really announced early. I didn't talk about it a whole lot. And to be completely honest with you, I didn't know if we were going to do it at 10 or 5 until last night. And then I decided that and I posted it on the Discord. And I know not everybody checks the Discord all the time or is even following it for that matter, but thank you so much for your support, April. Much love. Last but not least, at the $10 and up, we've got Bonnie Miller. Thank you so much for your support, Bonnie. We miss you. We'd love to see you on stream, but I know life gets busy. So if you're out there and you see this, at least drop me a like or a hey. And again, like I said, I'd love to hear from you. So all right, that reaches the end of my planned stuff. So this is always the portion where you guys get to, ask me anything, which most of you do as we go through. But so we got some people I may have missed that showed up. We got Danielle. What is up? Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. I got the Ghostbusters soda and top cover. Nice. Nice. The Sonic one looks legit. Reese and I can't wait to get the Sonic one. And yes, Brian, I definitely like MF Doom. To go back just a little bit, because you said you were not here for a little while, we do have plans. So our plan right now for Project is we are doubling down and working on both Lego Horizon videos as well as Funko Fusion, which has taken up a ton of time and why I have not been streaming. We're making our way through Lego Horizons. I only have about 3 or 4 story, I think it's 4 story levels left. So I hope to finish that by Monday, Tuesday, and have those videos online for you guys, probably Tuesday at the latest. I also have been working on Funko Fusion, and I've been trying to do like 2 Lego videos and then 1 Funko, because the Lego are much shorter. They're very easy to do compared to the Funko, because the Funko requires a lot of scouting. As of late, Doug has been unreachable, and so I've been doing levels on my own. So the scouts aren't just like follow the list and scout to get familiar. It's like actually find all the stuff, which is fine. Real life first, but I need to get stuff done. So, those take a long time. It takes me an hour, maybe 2, to scout it all out and get the route figured out. Because it's not always about just, okay, sometimes it's like, what is the best way to do it? Some of the levels are very square, or some of them are long, right? The square ones where there's multiple levels and different ways you can do it, some things make more sense than others because you're swapping characters for needed abilities or tools. And so trying to figure all that stuff out for you guys. And hopefully I'm solving a lot of the lengthy level play on some of these games, because some of these games are long and they take plenty of time on their own. You don't need to spend 7 hours in one level to find one collectible, which, let me do that for you. But once I get through that, which I hope to be done with Funko by my birthday, which is January 20th. I'm hoping to be really done with it by January 1st, but I think that's putting a lot of pressure on me, and I don't think I'll be able to get 25 or 27 video, however many it is, out the door between now and then, knowing that we still have Lego Horizon stuff too. If it was just all about Funko, I could probably get that done, because I could likely do 2 videos per day if I really went at it, but, that's tough. That's tough going. But anyway, so once I finish those games, the plan is, if nothing else has been released or announced, we will be doing Lego Indy 2. But that's all dependent on whether or not there's going to be, another game announced. Like if TT goes, bro, we've been working on Lego Indy remaster for, and it's going to be out January 20th. Your birthday, Brian, we did it for you. Booyaka show. Then I'm probably not going to be able to do that. But ultimately, that is the plan. So Doug, once he wraps up this stuff, he will be writing the guide for Lego Indy 2. Now, that is, again, all based on what comes out. And Funko probably won't put out another game between now and then. They may put out some DLC or some more content that may need covering. It may push those projections back a little bit, but ultimately that's sort of our plan right now. But meanwhile, we'll be playing the Indiana game on Wednesdays after we get the launch. So part of me wants to play through the game. Like, I thought about just ripping through it the next week and just playing through the entire game on my own before the embargo drops, and then replaying it with you guys. But I don't know. I haven't seen the achievement list. I need to look at the achievement list. If there is a play on a harder difficulty, I may zip through on the easy difficulty. But I don't know, though. I feel like, experiencing it together for the first time would probably be better. So we'll see. Let's see. Any comments? Let's see here. Why the gloomy background? Because cold November rain, bro. The cold November rain. I actually have an umbrella. What do you got, Justin? You know somebody that frames or something? If you know somebody that frames. So we have this, I think it's called Affordable Framing. It's a family-owned little business. There's a couple of them here in Salem. There's one in Lancaster Mall, or I guess it's Willamette Town Center now. I hate that they changed names to something that's been there for 40 plus years. Like, I hate it. It's the same place. Don't try to rebrand it and make it all it's the Lancaster Mall. It's like the Moda Center. It's the Rose Garden. Come on. What are you doing? But yeah, if you have something, hey, what up, Michael? There you are, bro. See, I got like 50 laying around and custom paint the frame and mat. Oh, you do, huh? Well, the only problem might be that for the one, so I have 2 right now that need frames. One of them, I want to match the frame and stuff that I have for my other one which is kind of like it's like an old driftwoody kind of stuff. I don't know if you have things like that, but that might work out. But for the other one, it's a pretty standard size. Let's see here. What size is it? I can get you the exact specs if you give me about 10 more seconds. Okay. Yeah, limited to 300 units, hand signed and numbered by original artist Sam Rodriguez. It's a 12 by 24. And I think the other ones are 12 by 24 too, but they're 24 by 12 because they're tall, not long, right? So yeah, the one, and I don't know what, part of me thinks like a pink, like a light pink frame is going to be the choice just to kind of match, and then have like a purple mat to match the background. Kind of not like the darkest lavender or purple, but like a middle range, sort of like right below the cakes that are being thrown, the hoe cakes. Do they still have the sticker pack? It said sold out, but hand signed and numbered. What? These are hand signed and numbered? What? I don't see no hand sign. Oh, that's a dope sticker. I haven't even seen these yet. Like I said, I haven't opened them. I don't want to open them. I'm weird about stuff like that. When I die, Reese will be going through junk like, why does he still have this in the box? He hasn't even opened this yet. He spent all this money. But yeah, we can definitely talk, because like I said, that I've got some pretty specific ideas. I thought about just ordering like an Amazon cheap, like $25 one, so that I can just put it in a frame for now and get it out of the tube. But let's see here. I have a weird size print I want to frame, but it's too pricey to do it. Yeah, so we went and took my YouTube play button there, and we got the black glossy frame with the red inner lining, and then just glass over it. I think that was like 160 or something like that. So not cheap. And then the other custom one that we have with like the driftwood and like the green and the purple matte, that was like 220 or something like that. So, I mean, I'm expecting to spend a little bit of cheese on these, but they're my artwork, like I want them to be nice. I have a little bit of an art collection now. Most of it's Doom. But I also have like, I actually have a sketch, a print from one of the Spider-Man artists, and it's of Doom, of course. It's Dr. Doom, and I got that signed from Comic-Con 4 years ago, something like 3 years ago. And then I've also got a Bev Doolittle. I think I shared that with you guys a while back. I inherited it from my grandparents when they passed. They had a huge Bev Doolittle collection. And Bev Doolittle is a pretty well-known artist, sort of like the entry to middle tier pricing, not super high-end, but things have gone up over the years. But Bev Doolittle traditionally makes art that has like hidden Easter eggs. So she'll have like a landscape. It'll be like a creek running through like, rocks and stuff. But if you stand back and sort of look at it, the rocks actually make up like a wolf face, or the one that I inherited is called Double Back. And it's always been my favorite. And it's a picture of snow, and it's like a mountainous path, and there's footprints of a bear going up this path. And as it gets sort of up into the very top, there is a rock up there where the footprints lead to. And at first glance, you look at it and you're like, oh, the bear has walked up, and you can see a black bear up in the trail up there. No, it's a rock. And the trail goes in between this big bush and a tree. And in the big bush, if you look, there's a giant brown bear mixed in, hiding. And they call it Double Back because I guess that's what bears do. They go up the trail, and then they sneak over and they get into a hunting position. So they sort of lure prey, and the prey thinks, oh, the bear's gone up the hill, when it's waiting to pounce in there. There's a handful of those. So my brothers also got Bev Doolittle paintings. My dad ended up getting one. They had a bunch of them. Reese requested one, but I don't know if he ever got it. I think my uncle, in fact, we need to talk about that because we saw my uncle yesterday. We should have talked about that with him. Anyway, so I've got a little bit of an art collection, so I don't mind spending a little bit of money on things that maybe improve the value or the presentation, if you will, right? Because I don't want to just like put thumbtacks through my posters that are like special prints signed or artists that are hard to find or whatever, right? Like I want them to be valuable. Like when I die, I want, like I said, I want Reese to have some stuff that he'll be like, this Doom crap's got to go, but at least he'll get some money off of it. He'll fetch some cheese because some of them are rare and some of them are, put in some pretty high expensive frames. And so, most of the prints are odd sizes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's weird how people design things, right? Like, as an artist, I don't really consider myself an artist, but as somebody who makes art and does Photoshop and illustrations and things like that, there's been plenty of times where, like, I've made a flyer. Like, I do a lot of flyers for the golf course, for example. And there's been times where I've started to make something because of how something else looked, but then I don't realize like I've got the wrong resolution or the wrong size, and then I'll have to rescale it. Like sometimes I've even used templates before, right? And I'll get like a template and it'll be huge, like, 4K big print on a billboard kind of size, right? But I need like an 8.5 by 11 so they can print it on their photo printer that they have at their, they just print on regular paper. So anyways, I definitely understand the wait a minute, what size are we supposed to have this at? So, all right. Anybody do anything this weekend or anything they want to share before I wrap it up here? Getting pretty close. Brian, thanks for the gifted sub. Just, hey, no worries. Glad we could do it. Thanks for being here. Let's see here. What's your project? I need some more remix videos. Let's see here. All right, well, getting fairly quiet out there. Looks like we've dropped a few people too. So, unless anybody has any last minute stuffs, got to publish a website for your course. Oh, nice. Are you like doing like content management systems? Are you working on like actual HTML, like HTML code? Are you doing like, how is it all working for you? Back in my day, I used to be able to write HTML 2.0, and I was pretty good at CSS too, but it's been a long time, and a lot of things have changed since the 5 has come alive. I haven't looked at any kind of coding. I mean, I can still get around, no problem. Like especially with code referencing and I mean AI now too. I mean, you can literally like tell AI, give me a snippet for this, and it'll write. Like I hate AI. First of all, let me say that I hate AI, and I say that because it terrifies me. My wife and I were talking about this the other day. There is nothing on this planet. There's no one person. There's no one entity, one organization, no group, no nothing. No fictional made up. There's nothing on this planet that scares me more than the concept of AI. And like a lot of smart people a while ago decided that AI is great as long as you don't connect it to the internet and you don't teach it to be self-aware. Those are the two things. Don't let it have access to the world, and do not teach it to be self-aware. What are we doing? What are we doing? What's Tesla doing? What's a bunch of other companies doing? It's scary. I feel like they've never seen the Terminator movies. I mean, it might not go down like that, but I feel like Tesla might be Skynet. I mean, I'm just saying Tesla might be Skynet. Have you not seen iRobot? Have you not seen how that happened? It's pretty scurry. Pretty scurry. They have that thing in Family Guy. Damn, nature, you scary. AI is way worse. Way worse. And I mean, AI can do some good things. Like my wife 2 years ago, when like ChatGPT first started becoming a thing and people started getting access and you could have little bits and tids and this and that. Well, there was so many papers coming in that were plagiarized or used AI to be written. And my brother and my wife both are in the high school realm, so they tell me all the time, like, and my brother is like a coach too, so he's got like students that are in his class that are on his football team as well. And so like he would pull some of these guys aside that he knows really well that need to pass to play, and he'd be like, so if you fail this paper, you're not going to be eligible to play. Why did you use ChatGPT? And they'd be like, I didn't use ChatGPT. And he'd be like, okay, so real quick, let me type in 3 keywords into ChatGPT. Why is it that the results are the exact thing that you turn your paper on? And they, oh, okay, use ChatGPT. So, I mean, that's been an issue. But now my wife is like teaching kids how to use it to help write and stuff. And, we actually started watching Idiocracy again last night. My wife started drifting off, so we paused it. We'll finish it again tonight. It's been 5-6 years since we watched it. But like, I mean, it's scary how real some of this stuff is. What up, Gray? It's scary how real some of this stuff is. I mean, we're not quite to the point where you walk in at Costco, welcome to Costco, I love you. But we're not far from it. We're not far from it. It's definitely an interesting time to be alive. And I feel like, most of us, especially some of the kind of middle-aged people, we've really kind of seen some of the golden era of humanity. But I feel like we might have peaked and are starting to fall back down again. I mean, this isn't against any of you, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there that I just can't even. I mean, some of the smartest people are doing some of the dumbest stuff, and I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Yeah, I know. Crocs are also on my feet right now. So, yeah, I was telling my uncle about it because my uncle is in local legislation and community stuff, and has been a big part of city councils and all sort of. He was also an athletic director and a counselor for the Western Oregon University for many years. He was also a coach, and so he's had many roles and very much a people person connected by the people. We can't go anywhere with my uncle without running into multiple people, and I'm not kidding. Like, Salem isn't huge, so it's kind of expected, but I mean Salem, Albany, Eugene, Portland, and we still run into people that my uncle knows. And he's kind of locally famous because of the roles he's had and the impacts on people's lives he's had. Well, he'd had a couple of drinks on Thanksgiving, and he was sitting at the table, and you know how like a turkey kind of looks around and has a little gizzard, and like, well, his bangs kind of fell down over, and he was like going off and talking about this and talking about that, and why would you? And I go, hey, have you ever seen Idiocracy? And he goes, no. And I go, okay, so this isn't a movie that I love that I want you to watch. It's a scary documentary that was made by somebody who was spoofing this stuff 20 years ago. And now it's sort of becoming real. I said, you know who Terry Crews is? He goes, yeah. I go, could you imagine him being the president and pop locking and walking across and celebrating and yeah, and he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, that's what's happening. So we were going through all the stuff of the movie and how different things are now than when that movie was made. And I tell him about the Crocs too. I was like, yeah, and you know what the worst part about that is, John? He's like, what? And I was like, I own 2 pairs of Crocs. And he started laughing. He's like, so you're part of the problem. I was like, I guess so. But oh, Denise is out of here. All right, Denise, we'll see you later. I'm getting ready to wrap things up too. I know that the wife is back and she is ready to get back to business. We got some things we got to do today. It's transition. We just got done with the Thanksgiving, so we got to take all like the turkeys and the pumpkins and all the things that are scattered throughout here. Not real pumpkins, fake pumpkins, and get all of our lights up and all of our tree. And if you guys remember, my wife took over the Christmas room, so it's filled with plants. And we don't know, there's like this concept, we're going to put the tree in the middle of the room so it doesn't affect them. We'll see how it all works out. But that's what we're going to start doing today, is unloading all the stuff from the garage and moving it in there. And that's ultimately why I opted to do it early. Terminator is not a movie. It's a documentary, just like Idiocracy. Come on, John. You know as well as I do, right? I hope I'm wrong. All right, guys. Well, hey, much love. I will be back tomorrow with another live stream at the same bat time, same bat channel. That actually worked out because I'm playing Batman. And then Monday next week, I'll be streaming. And then Friday, it looks like I will be playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The Great Circle? Yeah, I think that's right. My Xbox is super slow, and it literally took me 4 hours to download it. 4 hours. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. I actually had already preloaded the Game Pass version of it, but then I'm like, I want this one. This one's new. It's mine. I will get to keep it forever. It's not just Game Pass. And big time shout out to Bethesda for hooking us up. They always do. They've given us a ton of opportunities over the last few years. Unfortunately, not all of their games are games that I sync up with. So I haven't taken advantage. And they did the same thing again where they're like, hey, you could stream it, but don't stream this stuff and don't go. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know these people. I don't know this game. How am I supposed to know the names? And then like, tell me a point, like a level that I can't go past or something. So in the game, when it says that, I'll know, oh, this is it. I can't do it. But there's like characters that I'm not supposed to reveal and stuff. And it's hard to do. It's hard to be a creator these days with all these rules. No, I'm just kidding. Ultimately, I'm grateful for my opportunities. And yeah, so let's see. Our documentary like Dinesh. I don't know who Dinesh is. I know who Michael Moore is. I don't know who Dinesh is. I've probably heard of some movies they have done, but I do not know. You're doing Christmas today as well. So yeah, we got to start watching our Christmas themed movies. We got a giant pile of those. And Reese usually watches them with us, even though he's older and he doesn't ever spend time with us anymore, nor do we fight him and force him to do any of that stuff. I definitely look forward to this time of year because he always watches. Let's see. SS, it's nothing complicated. It's an HR course. So I just need like 4 sections about me and a CV. But did you say got to publish a website? So so is it content management? It's like WordPress, Joomla, or Drupal, or I'm familiar with all of those. I haven't used many of them in years. Joomla was really like going to take off, and then WordPress pretty much shut them down, and then Drupal tried to come in and take over the thunder from WordPress, but I don't think it really ever took off. I think WordPress has kind of dominated the CMS scene, but I'm a little bit out. In fact, I got a notification again saying that my website has some potentially threatening stuff on there, but they took care of it for me. You better. I paid like $70 a month to handle that. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Much love. Hopefully you enjoyed my month of doom and no gloom. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow and Monday and likely Friday if everything works out as planned. And I'll be uploading videos all week long, too, to the main channel. So be looking for it. And if you haven't already, we're way far ahead, as I mentioned. I tried to see if people had any guesses how many videos I've uploaded that aren't live yet. It's in the 20s. And so there's plenty of videos. So come December, I may slow things down as far as production goes and just live on those videos as they release. But definitely appreciate you guys more than you know. And I look forward to hanging out, playing some Lego Batman tomorrow. Guys, if you have not already, please check us out at social media. We got happythumbsgaming.com and htgmerch.com as well. All the links are found down below in the video description. Of course, tomorrow I'll be back. As always, until next time.